Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of Federico Talks Watches. It's time again for the monthly Q&A. That is where I put the Q&A picture on my Instagram account. Go follow me, Federico Talks Watches. You guys ask your questions below, and I answer them once a month here on YouTube. Thank you to all that participated. But of course, before we get started, customary wristwatch check. Today I'm wearing my Rolex GMT Master 2 Pepsi. One of my newer acquisitions, absolutely loving it. And actually, if you do like this, I do have one for sale at delraywatch.com, along with a bunch more watches and a bunch of watches that have been heavily discounted in the hot deal section. Go check it out, link in the description below. But let's get right into the questions. If you guys see me staring down, I'm just reading off my paper. First question is from Chaos McCain. What insurance company do you use for your watches? Well, I'm a watch dealer, so it's a little bit different. I use Wexler, which is kind of a jeweler's insurance. However, you may want to look into Chubb, C-H-U-B-B. I've heard only good things, even though I don't use them at all. I'm a Wexler client. Watch Oren. Any tips for someone looking for a job in a watch boutique? Well, I've worked in several boutiques. I've worked at Wempe Fifth Avenue, Tourneau, Cartier Fifth Avenue. I've worked a lot of retail, and I can tell you there are a few things that are important when it comes to working at luxury boutiques. Watch knowledge is important, but it's not the most important. The first thing is image. Make sure you shave. Make sure your nails are clean. Wear a pressed shirt. Wear your best suit. Just look tidy. It's about image, and when you go, be very proper. Call everybody sir or madam. Firm handshake, and express that you're there to provide excellent service should they hire you. Watch knowledge is important, but it can be taught, so it's not the most important. It's your habits, your image, and your ability to provide great customer service. Those are the number one things. So just make sure you're looking tidy. I'd walk in resume in hand, speak to a manager, give the gentleman a handshake, say, listen, I don't know if you're hiring, but my name is Federico. I'm a watch lover. I know a lot about watches. I can provide excellent customer service. If you wouldn't mind taking a look at my resume, I would greatly appreciate it. And, I look forward to potentially hearing from you. That's it. That's how I got all my watch jobs I got headhunted a couple times, but my first watch job, I literally walked into the Cartier boutique. That was it. J. Bastian 2. Are Rolex Waiting Lists Real? How do I get on it? Oh man, that's a loaded question. I've made videos about this. I don't want to dwell on it too much, but 95% of the time, Rolex waitlists are not real. It's just a very polite way of saying, please leave my store, we're not going to sell this to you. When you walk in and they quote you a 5 or 10 year waiting list, that's not real. I mean, I've worked at many ADs that sold Rolex. Sure, they have a list of 5 or 6 clients that they're waiting, but after that, even if they make you fill out a paper, it goes straight into the garbage. Money is not enough to buy a real rare Rolex. It's about how good of a customer are you? How much have you spent with them? Are you an important figure in your community? Are they going to get repeat business? When they say there's a waiting list, 2 to 3 years, no one's keeping 2 to 3 years of records of names. It's erroneous. It's a nice way of saying, I'm sorry, sir, you're not qualified to buy this Rolex. Whether you guys like it or not, some people say they're snobby. The truth is, there's demand and there's competition. And unless they deem you deserving, you're not going to get it. And once again, I know people are going to be upset that I'm saying it, but guys, 21st century, capitalist society, let's not pretend it's all unicorns and rainbows. Some people are just not important enough. That's the truth. If you really want one, pay the premium, or, make something of yourself. Become famous or spend obscene amounts of money with an AD. That's the only real way to get a watch at retail. Even me, I'm nobody, a YouTuber, okay, 70,000 subscribers, but still pretty much a nobody. I'd still pretty much get laughed at an AD if I walked in asking for a Daytona. I'm like, yeah, we'll put you on the 9-year waiting list. It's really reserved for their top clients, celebrities, important people in the community. Waiting lists are generally fake. I don't want to sugarcoat it. It is what it is. Bruno Papa 1. Bruno, how are you? Actually, no, Bruno. Hey Fed, what would you pick for your first Panerai? 104, 111, or 312? Well, Bruno, I would pick a 111. That's the one I have. The 104 is also a great choice because it's automatic. 312 is very nice too, but I'm a fan of the older style cases. So 104 or 111. Chef's Ebo. What is your take on Breitling's lineup change to a much different style to apparently appeal to the Asian market? Well, the Asian market is the most important watch market on earth. The most money flows around in that market. The most sales happen. North America second. What do I think? Breitling's never been popular in Asia. Their style, smaller watches, simpler watches. Sure, I think focusing on the Asian market might be a little short-sighted. I heard it's not going great, but I don't exactly have sources for that. I think it's an uphill battle. Breitling is in a world of shit right now. Let's see. Oh, here we go. Claude 1981. Hey, Fed, longtime watcher. Do you know any of the super collectors like Horoloop, Conquer 71, James Reason, or John Goldberger? If so, are their collections really insane? Are they nice people? Well, Claude, thank you so much for watching. I've met John Goldberger once or twice, but I doubt he would remember me. I don't know Horoloop or Conquers, but actually James Reason, which is a pseudonym, is a very good friend of mine. I mean, we text almost daily. He's bought watches for me, sold watches to me. He comes to Miami all the time. Apart from watches, he's a really big fan of champagne and cigars. So every time he comes down, we have a really, really good time. We have a great dinner. We get a little too wasted, and we smoke some pretty good cigars. And actually, me and James, we talk watches almost every day. So he's a really, really nice guy. As far as his collection, yeah, it's pretty insane. It's worth significantly more than my collection, by a factor of maybe 10. He's got some heavy-hitting pieces, but I like James's collection because he doesn't go for the same old stuff. He doesn't just get a 5711, a Hulk, Patek 5070, and an ultra-thin Royal Oak. He predominantly goes with gold pieces, and he likes value. So you don't see the usual suspects in his collection. He's a value collector. I really appreciate that because that's kind of how I'm modeling my collection, even though I say that with a steel Pepsi on my wrist. James, I hope you got a kick out of someone thinking you're actually a super collector. Legnoski. I change my mind almost daily on which watch to be my next purchase. It's similar to paralysis by analysis. Has this happened to you? If so, how do you come to your decision? Well, Legnoski, this happens to me all the time. I change what I like every day almost. It just happens to be when I have the money in my account and something hits me hard enough, I just buy it. I rarely plan it out. I also get paralysis by analysis, but I buy kind of when it's the right moment. I don't know how else to explain it. When something hits me particularly hard, I just go out and buy it. Paul Fleury says, why has Gerard Perregaux become a brand who flies under the radar of so many watch enthusiasts these days? Is it because they're way too expensive? I actually just answered this in my last video. It's just bad marketing. They're not getting in front of the right people. I think they are too expensive at retail, but pre-owned, they're extremely great values. Marketing departments. That's all I can pretty much say. Last is from Riga Brielle. He says, etiquette for getting to know your AD. Is it okay to just walk in to chat and try on a few watches with no intentions to buy? As I said, I worked at a few ADs. I think it is definitely allowed. Just keep a few things in mind, a few unspoken rules. Like, don't go in during a rush. Preferably, remember, because sales guys, a lot of them are on commission, so their time is worth money. They need to close sales. But if the AD is empty, and, you go up to someone, usually I suggest going to a younger sales guy. They're usually more enthusiastic. And you're straight up like, hey, hey there, I don't want to buy a watch today, but I was wondering if I could try a few pieces on I had my eye on. Would that be okay? If you're polite, they're going to be super nice. Of course, there's going to be some cranky ADs, but they're there to serve you. And as long as you take into consideration that it is their job to sell watches, and you don't take too much time and you're courteous, I think they'd be more than happy to. I've met a lot of great customers that have come in to chat. I've also met a lot of awful customers that can see that the store is full and that everybody's being helped, and there are people looking around and they have no intention to buy, but they still think it's okay to chat with me for an hour and a half. So it goes both ways. As long as you're courteous, you're nice, and you're straightforward, I think it's personally perfectly okay. Anyway, guys, that's it for today. Thank you so much for watching another episode of Federico Talks Watches. Please don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoy it. It really does help. And of course, I'll catch you in the next one. Take care.